Coming up on Bloom, the Bloom Better Health Special, and I've got an amazing guest co-host today, Guerdy Abraira from the Real Housewives of Miami, and we have so many cool things coming your way.
And apparently, most importantly today, we're going to find out how you can get married in 12 months or less, Gayle.
Is that a pandemic thing because we were all stuck together?
That quarantine life, let me tell you. And also, we're going to be finding out about financial health tips from Dave Ramsey.
That and more is coming your way on Bloom, presented by Lifeguard Imaging. Welcome to the Bloom Better Health Special presented by Lifeguard Imaging. Thank you so much for tuning in. I'm Gayle Guyardo, and my special celebrity guest co-host today is Guerdy Abraira, who you probably recognize from the Real Housewives of Miami. Guerdy, we are so excited to have you in-house for the Bloom Special.
Listen, I'm thrilled to be here with you today, Gayle, for sure.
And Bloom, as you know, is Tampa Bay's only TV show dedicated to health and lifestyle. We're here to help your life grow, and we're going to kick things off with what's trending actually in Miami. Guerdy, again, you're known to a lot of our viewers as being a Real Housewife of Miami, and you're so hot because everybody in Miami apparently is. Miami just made the newest trends at the healthiest city in the country for the third year in a row.
I just heard it too, and that's right. The factors included how much residents exercise, amount of stress and rest they get, as well as their body mass index.
Yeah, this also included smoking and alcohol. That played a huge factor as well. And you can see that LA and San Diego are right on the heels of Miami. So Guerdy, are you excited to see Miami keeping it real, keeping it healthy?
I'm in shock. It's definitely a great place and healthy place to live, for sure.
So beautiful down south. So Guerdy, you're kicking off the new year with a lot of exciting news. I mean, tell us some of the projects you have going on and some of the accolades.
Thank you so much. Yeah, I was just named literally a couple of weeks ago by Vogue as the best planner worldwide, as well as brides as well. So these past couple of weeks have been really kind of like a whirlwind, just because, you know, it's humbling to see that you keep your head down, you do the job, and something good is going to come out of it.
That's what I was going to say, because I got to meet Guerdy previously. She came in for a segment, and what I love about you the most is that you are so authentic and everything is coming from the heart, and I really do think that that's why so many great things are happening for you in 2022.
Oh my gosh,
I'm so excited for you. I really am.
I appreciate it. Hopefully 2022 will continue in this pace, and so I'm very excited to see what the future holds, for sure.
Me too, me too. That's what's trending now. Later on today, nutritionist Bauer has some great recipes and tips to share.
Vegetables and fruits, they're high volume and they're low in calories, so they fill us up instead of filling us out. But I think even more important, they are packed with the good stuff. Fiber, vitamins, minerals, antioxidants. So they shower our bodies from head to toe with everything that we need to be and feel our best. They reduce the risk for heart disease and cancers. They give us more energy. They make our skin glow.
Plus, Dave Ramsey has financial health tips, and now the doctor is in. It's time to burn, melt, and shred in just 8 weeks.
8 weeks, I know. Joining us now is #1 New York Times bestselling author, Dr. Ian Smith, to tell us about his new book. And he joins us now about a program to help you burn calories and get in shape in 2022. It's great to see you, Dr. Ian, and I wanted to introduce you to my special co-host today. She is a global event planner and a Real Housewife of Miami star, Guerdy Abraira.
Hi, doctor. How are you?
Great, Guerdy, nice to meet you. I wish I was down in Miami or in Tampa Bay with you guys.
One of the same, hot and humid.
Yeah. So, Dr. Ian, I understand this is a simple, affordable, and realistic plan. In fact, I read the book, and I've been following it, and I guess hundreds of others have as well.
Yeah, you know, Burn, Melt, Shred was an idea I had in December. I just said, why not create a program that's affordable? People are stressed out over the pandemic. They want to lose the pandemic weight, but they don't want to add the added stress of financial hardship when it comes to buying food. And so Burn, Melt, Shred is all about affordable foods that you can find anywhere. They're tasty. You don't have to go to 5 different stores to get it, one big grocery store. And the recipes in the book are recipes the entire family can enjoy. What people have been liking about the program is the ease of access. It's easy to use, it's straightforward, and it's forgiving. It's not one of those programs where if you mess up on a meal or you mess up on a day, you got to start all over again.
Right. No,
I built forgiveness into the program.
Definitely. And what I love about the plan is that you can eat great foods. The meal plan combines high fiber and also protein meals with the more nutritious carbs to create daily menus. And, you know, they're tasty and make you feel, and also leads to burning fat and shredding pounds.
Yeah, absolutely. And what people have to understand is that, you know, there is a trick to being able to snack well. And as you mentioned, Guerdy, the protein and fiber. High protein fiber snacks are fantastic. The book is full of them. They're 150 calories or less, but they're very tasty. And the beauty of snacking, and I love snacking, the beauty is that when you snack enough, it prevents you from overindulging when you have that next meal. So snacks are a big part of the program also.
So I know hundreds and hundreds of people jumped on this program. Have much weight did people drop on average?
The most important question.
Yeah. Don't bury the lead, Dr. Ian.
Well, the book just came out, and we have a Facebook group, by the way, and people should join it. It's fantastic. Over 4,000 people. It's called Burn, Melt, Shred, the name of the book. And in the Facebook group, the first week, people have reported anywhere from 5 to 8 pounds of losing weight in the first week. In fact, on my Instagram, at Dr. Ian Smith, spell the doctor out, you'll see where I posted and said, wow, I woke up this morning to this post in my group where someone lost 8.1 pounds the first week. Now, obviously, people lose weight at different rates, and some lose it fast, some lose it slow, but it's just to show you that if you do follow the plan and you are putting your all into it, you can get some very good and very quick results.
Okay, but most importantly, the question is, how can we make sure that we keep the weight off even after the 8 weeks?
Absolutely. You know, here's the issue. With my programs, I always try to teach people how to make better decisions. Yes, I want you to follow the plan as best as you can, not perfectly, but as best as you can. But I'm teaching you along the way how to make choices when you go out to eat, when you go to the grocery store. My goal, Guerdy, is that when you're done with the 8 weeks, you can put the book away and you can now make decisions because you know what's good, what's not good, and when you can have those fun foods and when you should push back from the table. So it's really all about learning these habits and implementing them so it becomes a lifestyle and not just a short-term success story.
Dr. Ian, do you exercise on the plan?
Yeah, of course. You know, if you want to maximize your weight loss, it's always a 1-2 punch. Diet and exercise. Now, do you have to go to the gym for over an hour a day? Absolutely not. In fact, in the book, I give you at-home exercises, about 30 minutes, 4 days a week, moderate intensity. But here's the deal. You can actually split it up. 15 minutes in the morning, 15 in the afternoon. The idea is to make the exercise also accessible as well as the food.
I love it. This is really great. Dr. Ian, as always, it's so great to catch up with you. Thank you so much for joining us on the special, and we wish you were here too.
I'll be there soon, trust me.
All righty, take care. And you can head to driansmith.com for more information. Of course, he mentioned all his social media if you want to jump on that plan and join the community. And we will be back with more of the Bloom Better Health special right after this. You're watching Bloom, presented by Lifeguard Imaging, scanning the body for early detection of heart disease and hundreds of different forms of cancer. Call now 813-524-1010 for your complimentary heart scan. Welcome back to the Bloom Better Health special.
It's never too late or too early to make small changes that will greatly benefit your health.
Joining us now is NBC's Today Show nutrition and health expert Joy Bauer with some recipes to help get us on a road to better health. Welcome back to Bloom, Joy.
Hey guys, I've missed you. Happy New Year. I'm loving your outfits, by the way. So
Thank you.
glamorous.
Oh my gosh.
Thank you.
Well, we always love you, your backdrop. It's amazing. And so, Joy, how do you feel about resolutions for the new year?
Honestly, I love this time of year because everybody is so hyper-focused and motivated and inspired to become their best self. It's sort of like that fresh start. I don't want people to make huge, broad, unrealistic resolutions, but small ones are amazing. And all of those small steps forward toward a healthier lifestyle, they add up. I mean, boy, and do they have great big payoff. So I'm going to give you a few of my favorites.
Absolutely. What do you think is your best advice for starting the new year off with on the right foot, pretty much?
I would say the first thing, and it's so easy, and I love the idea of telling people to actually eat more, and that's what I'm about to do.
Eat more.
Sign
Is
us up.
Hello.
incorporate a produce item into each and every meal. And when I say produce item, I'm talking about vegetables and fruits, and here's why. Vegetables and fruits, they're high volume and they're low in calories. So they fill us up instead of filling us out. But I think even more important, they are packed with the good stuff. Fiber, vitamins, minerals, antioxidants. So they shower our bodies from head to toe with everything that we need to be and feel our best. They reduce the risk for heart disease and cancers. They give us more energy. They make our skin glow. I mean, they help us to think more clearly. So I'm telling you, if you can go out of your way, let's say at breakfast, if you're having cereal or oatmeal, add some beautiful berries on top. If you're scrambling eggs or making an omelet, put in mushrooms, spinach, onions, anything goes. And then with lunch, if you like sandwiches, lift up that top layer of bread and don't just add lettuce. Add roasted peppers and onions and tomatoes. The more vegetables, the better. And with dinner, there's so many ideas, right? You could do a shrimp and broccoli stir fry. You could have some yummy sauteed spinach on the side of your salmon. But the idea is produce with every single meal. Your body is going to thank you.
I love that. She
I
caught
love
me
that.
with bread
I
and
know.
eat more.
And the showering of all the
and good
nutrients.
skin. We both
We love our skin.
Flowering.
So, Joy, what are you going to make for us today?
Okay, so the next tip is a really big one. People don't drink enough water. And you all being in Florida, you know better than anybody in that hot weather that we dehydrate. And the cool thing about water is that it's not just good for your skin. It's not just good for your muscles. We're comprised of about 70% water. So when you take in the water that you need, your energy level goes up. You rev your metabolism. It's great for digestion, right? It keeps things moving along so that you're more regular. It really optimizes every single function within the body. A great rule of thumb, because people usually say, Joy, like how much should I actually be drinking, is to take your weight, divide it in half. And that's about the amount of ounces that you need each and every day. So
Wow.
for example, if you weigh 140 pounds, half of that would be 70 ounces. And then there's 8 ounces in each cup. So that means that you should aim to drink about 8 to 9 cups throughout the day. But it doesn't have to be just plain water. It could be sparkling water, a plain or flavored. It could be coffee. It can be tea. So anything goes. And I want to show you a trick to jazz up your water. I'm going to show you how to make a lemon cucumber spa water. Does that sound good?
That's
Yes, it
amazing.
does.
We're all ears.
So this is a big picture here. And I always have a picture of this stuff in my fridge, but I'm going to show you how to just make a single serving, a glass. So what I'm doing is taking, these are Hot House little skinny mini cucumbers, but you can use any cucumbers that you want. And I'm putting it to the bottom of my glass. And now I want to get a lot of vitamin C in there. So now I'm packing in just lemon slices to the bottom. And I'm going to take a muddler, but you could also use, I have here just a spoon as well. And the idea is to sort of muddle it at the bottom of the glass to release some of the natural juices. And we're getting some of that vitamin C out of the lemon. And then what you're going to do, let me move this over to here. There's a lot going on in my house, you hear. We have a sparkling, this is a LaCroix, a sparkling water. There's no sugar, there's no sodium, but you get another pop of lemon. And I'm going to pour it on top. And the very last thing I'm going to do is jam in some fresh herbs. So I have here basil, but it can be mint. It could be rosemary, thyme. You could put in some, this is basil. You could put in some fresh mint. I would love that as well. That would be really yummy.
Joyce.
I'm just gonna.
Joy, sadly, we're out of time. Speaking of time, but we always have the best time with you. Thank you so much for joining Guerdy and I on Bloom today. We really appreciate you, and we're always watching you on Today.
Oh, well, I'm sending you guys a great big kiss and cheers to a safe, healthy, and happy 2022.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Love you guys.
You too. Love you too.
Bye.
For more tips and recipes, you can follow Joy on Instagram at Joy Bauer. And to sign up for her newsletter, you can visit joybauer.com/newsletter. We're going to be back with more of the Bloom Better Health special right after this.
You're watching Bloom, presented by Lifeguard Imaging. Call 813-524-1010 for your complimentary heart scan.
The following portion of Bloom is sponsored by Titan Medical Center.
Welcome back to the Bloom Better Health special. The best way to stay in good health is preventative care. Joining us now to tell us more about health optimization and a better quality of life is advanced registered nurse practitioner Chanel Unitas with Titan Medical Center. Welcome to Bloom, Chanel.
Thanks, Gayle. It's nice to be here.
So tell me a little bit about your title. What exactly is an advanced registered nurse practitioner?
Yeah, so I am a nurse practitioner. I started out as a nurse, which I have been for 12 years. I went back to graduate school 6 years ago to further develop my knowledge base to better treat and care for patients with more assessment skills, diagnostic training, treatments, and developing plan of care. So I do work alongside other doctors and medical providers as well. And I've been at Titan Medical Center for 4 years.
Oh, that's great. So tell us how you actually treat patients. I mean, I know at Titan, you help with so many different areas of bringing people to full body health, and that includes hormone replacement.
Yes, so we primarily do hormone replacement therapy. We do also do a lot of medical weight loss, detox, rejuvenation, preventative maintenance, as you said, through different vitamin amino acid therapies and detox and peptide therapies as well.
And you know, you really do need to go to an expert when it comes to having hormone imbalances, because it's a true science. And how can hormone imbalance affect a patient?
Yeah, so well, hormones do play a very vital role throughout the body. They act on a lot of different receptors to warrant specific mechanisms throughout the body. And if there is a disruption or an imbalance there, it can cause a lot of different symptoms, which would be varied depending on which organ of the endocrine system is being affected. So anything from libido changes, mental cognition, focus, clarity, temperature regulation in the body, fat loss, to name a few.
Yeah, so it sounds like optimizing, you know, your hormones and getting them back in balance can be a game changer for patients.
Absolutely, yes. So, and with the hormonal imbalance, sometimes there can be similar symptoms with two different, so for example, thyroid and testosterone or other
any other issue like that, it can really like throw somebody completely off balance, and they might not even know that they're dealing with this. It might be something that they don't know why they're feeling sluggish, and they don't know why they're, you know, maybe not finding their partner as interesting in the bedroom anymore. And it could all just be balanced simply by visiting you at Titan.
Yes, so if we can evaluate the hormones properly and determine which hormones are imbalanced, we can correct them that way rather than trying to guess based on, you know, one symptom that somebody is having. If we get a full picture by evaluating the lab work properly, then we can treat everything accordingly.
Now, do you do this with blood work?
Yes, so we can have patients actually come in office or go to any LabCorp request in their area depending on where they live, and then we would get the results that way, and then we can evaluate it either in person or via telemedicine.
Yeah, I was just going to say what's so cool about Titan is that you can come in person or you can have your visits via telemedicine, right?
Yes, and we do service nationwide, so we have a lot of patients, so it works great too because then you don't have to worry about coming into the office. If you do live in another state, we can still service you and take care of your needs that way.
And the other thing that's really great is that you can get the medications right to a patient's door.
Yep, absolutely. So we will send the prescriptions to the pharmacy, and the pharmacy will fulfill them and send them directly to the patients.
You know, I was on your website and it seems very easy to navigate. And again, everything that you address is right there on the front page. So it sounds like it's just pretty simple to log on and make an appointment.
So you can fill out the new patient paperwork online, and then the girls in the office will reach out to the patients and schedule a consultation with one of the providers.
Oh, that sounds really incredible. And you work with a team of experts, right?
Yes. Yep.
All right. Well, I'm glad we got to meet one, and you know, your resume is tremendous, and I know everybody is at Titan. So thank you so much for joining us on Bloom today. This is great.
Thank you so much for having me.
Great way to start 2022. All right. For more information, you can visit titanmedicalcenter.com. Plus, check out their YouTube page for more information, or call or text 727-389-3220 today. Mention Bloom and receive $25 off of any service or therapy. And we'll be back with the Bloom Better Health Special right after this.
The preceding portion of Bloom was sponsored by Titan Medical Center.
Welcome back to the Bloom Better Health Special. There are 7 baby steps you can take now to become a millionaire.
Joining us now is #1 best-selling author, personal finance expert, and the host of The Ramsey Show, Dave Ramsey. Welcome to Bloom.
Well, thank you. Thanks for having me, ladies.
Hi.
Hi. So listen, I love the book. I have a copy of it. I'm almost through it. And it's really great because I'm reading about real people who took baby steps to become millionaires. And after reading the book, you think to yourself, hey, I could do this too.
So Dave, how do people get started on the road to financial peace?
Well, you're right. That's the whole idea of the book, is to get people to believe that they can actually do it. Because there's so many people in the marketplace today with all the negativity out there flying around that are hope stealers, stealing people's hope, telling them that it can't be done. And to your point, if we walk those baby steps, it's been done a bunch of times. We've been teaching this stuff for 30 years, and we've got baby steps millionaires all over the place. And so baby step 1 is you save $1,000 very, very quickly. 2 is we pay off all of our debt using the debt snowball, listing it smallest to largest except the house. That usually takes about 2 years. This is not a fast plan. This is a crock pot. It's not a microwave. Then once we're out of debt, everything but the house, now we finish grandma's emergency fund, grandma's rainy day fund. And then the fun starts on the investing side. Baby step 4 is 15% of your income going into your 401k, Roth IRAs, and good mutual funds. 5 is kids' college. And 6 is any other money we can find, we start chunking on and paying off the house. And what we have found is that people who move through this, they get rid of that debt, other than the house, that's about $1,200 a month per family on average. That invested will make you wealthy. And so the 401k and the paid off house is what the typical millionaire in America have done.
Wow, that's amazing. Can you please tell us about your new book, Baby Steps Millionaires?
Well, thank you. Yes, I haven't done a major trade book in 8 years, and really didn't have a big intention to do another one. But 2 things happened that caused me to want to make the case that everyone can still in America do this. One is what I mentioned. There's too much of the hater voices out there, the hope stealers telling people it can't be done, that the game is rigged and you just can't get ahead anymore. And it's just not true. There's always been obstacles. It's always been difficult to be successful. That's why we admire successful people, but it's always been possible, and it's still possible. The second thing that happened was, as I mentioned, we've been doing this, teaching these baby steps for about 30 years now, and millions and millions of people gone through our classes, and we're running into tens of thousands of them who are, 5, 6, 7, 8, 10 years down into these baby steps, and they've become millionaires. They've gotten out of debt, got their house paid off, and got a bunch of money in their 401k. So we kind of said, hey, we've got the proof here of these stories. We did a large research project on millionaires, and we've got this 30 years of experience. We need to make people have hope again, teach them again with the math that they can really do it.
What a great message. Yeah. Dave, what's the best way to build wealth in 2022?
Well, one of the things we're seeing that's kind of a negative thing in the marketplace is, and I think it's probably due to COVID and the pandemic, a lot of folks have kind of had this existential crisis. Like, we've got a couple of generations that woke up and realized their mortality, like we're not going to make it. And they got in a hurry. They got a little bit scared and said, I got to go get rich quick. And so they're falling for a lot of the old and some new get rich quick things that don't have a track record of working. And so too many people putting their entire fortune into Bitcoin, putting their entire fortune into nothing down real estate, putting their entire fortune into anything that's real quick and easy, because quick and easy just does not have a track record of working. And so, you know, this is absolutely what's happening in the marketplace. And gosh, I wanted to kind of set that aside and say, there is a way to do this, and it's slow and steady. Every time I read The Tortoise and the Hare, the tortoise wins the race.
You got it.
I love this. I love this. I love the book. I have another copy that I'm going to share with Guerdy here.
Give me one.
So practical, so real life. Dave, thank you so much for joining us for our special today.
Well, thank you for having me. I'm honored to be with you.
Likewise, you can head to ramseysolutions.com/Bloom for more information, and we're going to be back with more of Bloom's Better Health Special right after this. Stick around.
You're watching Bloom, presented by Lifeguard Imaging, scanning the body for early detection of heart disease and hundreds of different forms of cancer. Call now 813-524-1010 for your complimentary heart scan.
The following portion of Bloom is sponsored by Riverside Recovery.
Welcome back to the Bloom Better Health Special. Part of establishing better health is recognizing addiction and getting the help that you need to live a healthy life. Joining us now to talk about addiction awareness and the treatment options available are Kirk Kirkpatrick, the CEO and co-founder of Riverside Recovery, along with Elizabeth Stockton, the CAO and co-founder of Riverside Recovery. Welcome to Bloom.
Thanks for having us.
Thank you so much.
Well, this is a really important subject. You know, a lot of folks are finding themselves with the pandemic and all the stress, you know, needing to find recovery in their life. So what does recovery look like?
To me, what recovery looks like is it's being the best version of yourself. And I think that starts with, you know, an honest assessment. If you're abusing drugs, alcohol, and you have a substance use disorder and things are really falling apart, it's a matter of addressing it with a professional and really getting the help you need.
Yeah, and I think a lot of people avoid getting the help they need because they think it's going to be very difficult, but that's kind of your specialty, is to help people realize that recovery is possible and it might not be as hard as they think. Mm-hmm. So talk to me about how difficult is it to recover from addiction?
I mean, it all depends on the person. You really have to want it for yourself. And everybody comes from different walks of life, different backgrounds. So, you know, our team is specialized in this. So we really help the person where they're at in their addiction and help them recover along the way.
How long does the recovery process typically take?
Yeah, that's a great question. A lot of people, you know, we live in a microwave type society where they want instant relief and instant recovery. It takes work. It's like changing yourself, and you have to find new coping mechanisms to deal with life. So it's anywhere from 30 days to a lifetime to really get the handle of it. But it really starts with you know, the detox process and then just finding new ways of dealing with life on life's terms.
Talk to me about how you have almost like a holistic approach to dealing with recovery, because, you know, mental illness really plays into this, or past trauma, something that somebody's, you know, dealing with could really hinder their road to recovery.
Mm-hmm. So, I mean, the holistic approach is, you know, after somebody comes into treatment, we really evaluate them once they're fully detoxed from the substances, and our team is trained and specialized to look at their mental health, look at the family history, and really assess them and put them on the way to health. So I would say the mind, body, spirit, you know, we have a full psychiatric team, we have a medical doctor, we have a full staff ANRPs.
Which is incredible, because Kirk, I would imagine that, you know, recovery isn't just a one-size-fits-all process. You have to deal with each individual and their own personal needs.
Yeah, each one is individual, and that's the thing. It's not one-size-fits-all, and what somebody's recovery looks like, the other person can be completely different. So it really needs to be set up. in a way that you treat each one individually. So again, it's not just 2 weeks or 30 days or 90 days for one person. It really it changes person to person for sure.
And Riverside, by the way, is so beautiful. It's such a tranquil location. I mean, is that by design?
Yeah, so when we designed Riverside, we really thought about the client first, and what it would be like, and we wanted it to have a soothing feel, but also very clean and kind of what you described, Gayle, just serene,
And yeah, you see that. It's just beautiful. You definitely need to check it out. And thank you both so much for joining us on the Bloom Special. We really appreciate it. If you want to transform yourself into the best version of yourself, call Riverside Recovery 24/7 admission line. You can call right now, 813-575-4141, or you can always visit online at rrtampa.com. We'll be back with the Bloom Better Health Special right after this.
The preceding portion of Bloom was sponsored by Riverside Recovery.
Welcome back to the Bloom Better Health Special. Are you ready to take the Married in 12 Months or Less challenge?
The online mentoring program is now an international movement and is now a new book.
Yeah, joining us now is relationship coach, speaker, and professional matchmaker, and the author of the new book, Married in 12 Months or Less for Single, Divorced, and Widowed Women, Jackie Dorman. Jackie, welcome to Bloom.
Hi, it's great to be here.
Now, Jackie, question is it really, really possible to get married in 12 months or less?
It's possible to get married quicker than that, but it's really possible to get into a good marriage in 12 months or less.
That's incredible. And are you talking from like finding the man or the woman or significant other, and like is that the starting point? And what made you create your online mentoring program during the pandemic?
So I've been teaching something called the heart work for many years. And I saw that when people did their heart work, they got married. And so as someone who's always made matches in my private life, all my friends, they would see me coming. They know I'm going to fix them up with someone. And so I've always been the matchmaker. I helped 15 friends of mine find their true love. And so I put those two things together when I realized that when people get out of their own way, they find love. And so I help people do their heart work, and then they're able to step into these beautiful love stories that are already waiting for them.
Well, I think that's a good point that you make, because a lot of people are really jaded. So how do you get women to become unstuck?
Well, we do their heart work. So people are believing all kinds of crazy things about themselves, men, marriage, and we have to unpack those boxes before they can really see clearly what's right in front of them.
I mean, tell us about your success stories. I'd love to hear a few examples.
Oh, there's so many. I've had people fall in love with people they've been friends with for years, people maybe that they knew in community. We do something called community-based matchmaking here at Married in 12 Months or Less, because people don't just take my courses, they actually join my mentorship, and then they have access to community. And there's one lady that I'm thinking of that she had this laundry list of things that she had to have. In fact, the older that she got, the longer the list became, right? She's like, I'm worth this. These are my standards. This is what I want. I'm not going to settle for anything less. So it's the whole I'm not settling. But the list was just made up of things that she needed to keep herself safe. Things that had happened in the past that she didn't want to see happen again. And so I found her list guy and I introduced her to him. He had every single thing on her list. And guess what? She wasn't attracted to him at all.
Oh,
not even a little bit.
So close, but so far.
He didn't. She didn't even check that box. So I have a personal question from my executive producer, Elizabeth. She's a huge fan of yours. She wants to know what advice that you have for the women out there watching, if you have any tips, because she herself is looking for a good man.
Where they at?
There's so many tips. Like for instance, the rest of that story is that woman gave a guy that was right in front of her that very visibly didn't have a lot of the things on her list, including height. Ladies, I see you. You want the real tall guys. And guess what? She's married now. She's super happily married to a guy that was right in front of her that also was not half the things on her goofy list. And so the very first tip that I could give someone who's looking for love is to make sure that you're not escalating yellow flags into red flags. Every single guy you meet is going to have yellow flags. Everyone's a work in progress. Everyone is working on some sort of heart work. And so you have to make a decision of what's the most important things to you based on real non-negotiables, not some list that you've put together to protect yourself.
I totally think that I agree with her, you know?
I like that, because even my husband, who I love with all my heart and soul, if you look at us on paper, nobody would have thought it would have worked. I mean, you know, it wasn't a match on paper, but really it comes from the heart and the gut and your instinct, don't you think?
They say pick your battles, and I think that's definitely a perfect example of that, you know? So thank you so much, Jackie. For more information, visit her website, jackiedorman.com.
And we're going to be back with more of the Bloom Better Health special right after this. Stick around.
The following portion of Bloom is sponsored by Right Aesthetics.
Welcome back to the Bloom Better Health special. There's a new pathway to a new you with a personalized epigenetic hair test. Joining us now is Elvira Wright, the owner of Right Aesthetics, who is a trichologist and licensed pharmacist, to tell us more. Welcome back to Bloom, Elvira.
Thank you. Thank you for having me. New year, new me, right?
Yes, absolutely. And I actually had the epigenetic hair test done, and it's a really great way to jumpstart hair growth in 2022.
Absolutely, because you think about, we have 20 amino acids in our body. That's how it's built. 16 different vitamins, some fatty acids. Do you know which one you're missing through your food? And epigenetic hair test will help you to determine in 36 pages report what you're exactly missing. And at the end, it gives you 90 days plan how you can restore what you're missing in your body and start your new you with a wonderful foundation.
Yeah, that's what I love about Right Aesthetics, is because not everyone's plan is equal. You tailor it to each individual, and you did that for me. And you gave me a list of foods that you wanted me to avoid for 90 days, which I did, and I was blown away about how quickly my hair started to growing. And you even were looking at my, hypothyroidism, like you look at everyone overall.
Exactly, because people didn't realize the hair is our antenna to outside world, but it's also indicate how your body will react to epigenetic factors to outside world. So when we do the test, it's going to be very personalized result. What is good for you might not good for me, and vice versa. And when you follow the directions, you will see amazing results, not just for your overall health, but when we do different type of procedures, weight loss, for example, non-surgical, or hair restoration non-surgical, or aesthetic medicine, it will propel the results in much better level when we start you with the basics.
And what's interesting about this test is it's so quick. Like, you painlessly pluck a few strands of hair, you put it into the device, and you almost start seeing the results immediately. It's just a matter of minutes, if I recall.
Yeah, 15 minutes, and you get this report, and you just start new pathway to new you.
That's awesome. That's awesome. So who will benefit from the test?
We actually now added on even for the baby. It starts from 2 years up to, well, until 80 and above. Yeah. For the babies, actually, they also get the saliva swab, because it's a little bit more complicated with the babies, but you can have that one as done, because we started to see a lot of babies coming with the allergy reactions to just regular food. And sometimes parents don't know what to do. We have some families, like family 5, 6, 10 coming with the relatives, and within an hour, we get all them tested, and then we go and discuss the results. So it's pretty quick and easy.
So this fits into your entire business model because this is how you approach dealing with all different types of health issues.
Correct, because if you drive on the car, for example, and you see your engine light started to blink, you don't put the Band-Aid. That's what usually modern medicine usually does. Put on chronic diseases, put the Band-Aid. We go and do research what the cause of this type of issues. And the epigenetic test is one of the tools we use.
Now, when you did it, I started to see the hair growth coming back very quickly. Is that typical? I mean, do people, if they adhere to what you say, do they start to see the results?
Some people have, okay, my hair started to grow back because we reduce the inflammation in the body through the food they have to avoid. But they also say, oh, I lost 30 pounds in 90 days. From doing not much, just to follow recommendations.
These small adjustments. Elvira, it's always so great catching up with you. Thank you so much for coming back on Bloom.
Thank you. And we have some special promotionals for epigenetic tests.
Awesome. If you want to have the special promotion, you can call or text right now. Call 727-212-1755 to schedule an appointment. And for more information about the test and to see a video on the website, visit rightaesthetics.com. We'll be back with Bloom's Better Health Special right after this.
The preceding portion of Bloom was sponsored by Right Aesthetics.
Call 813-524-1010 for your complimentary heart scan.
Content segments during Bloom were paid for by Titan Medical Center, Riverside Recovery, and Right Aesthetics.
What is obesity and how does it affect your health? Obesity involves excessive body fat and is a disorder that increases the risk of health problems. It often results from eating too many calories than what is burned by exercise and your day-to-day activities. There are more than 3 million cases of obesity in the United States every year. Family history can increase the likelihood of becoming obese, but also poverty, housing, and work situation, fast food, and inactive lifestyles strongly influence obesity. Obesity is usually self-diagnosable, and many people experience pain in their back or joints. However, there are related conditions and risk factors of obesity, like diabetes, depression, trouble sleeping, and heart disease, among other conditions. While obesity can be treated, it can last several years or be lifelong. To prevent obesity, it's important to build a healthy relationship with food by including whole fruits, vegetables, proteins, and whole foods in your diet, while also incorporating physical activity in your daily life. This has been a Medical Minute.
Thanks for tuning into Bloom today. And Guerdy, thank you so much for being my co-host today.
Thanks for having me. It's been so much fun.
So much fun. And be sure to follow Bloom on social media, Instagram @Bloom_TV, Facebook @Bloom TV Show, and Twitter @BloomTV1. And we hope you'll tune in again on the next Bloom presented by Lifeguard Imaging. We'll have a top Johns Hopkins cancer research on melanoma, and you can earn top scholarship dollars. We'll tell you how. With memes. That's just, can you believe it? What? Memes? I know, it's true. And it's Fitness Friday. We're going to meet up with Ilyana Stoylova. She's going to tell us how to keep some good form in 2022.
Girl power.
Girl power.
I love it.
See you next time.